Well, except for the fact that people must be willing to read their Bibles. And I know I must sound like a broken record, or that I'm telling you something you've probably already heard as a believer, but the Bible is the blueprint, and it's sad how the enemy knows the blueprint better than you. And yes, God prepares you, and yes, God protects you. No. Yes, God does prepare you. He provides the resources for you to be prepared yourself, and He will protect you. But what I've understood about God is that if He has warned you beforehand of a disaster, and He's giving you the tool to prepare yourself, and you haven't prepared yourself, you will reap the consequences of it. It's not like, unless if a tragedy befell your life, or befell your household, or you encounter some surprise tragedy, and then God ends up providing in spite of any such tragedy and whatever. That's different. But in terms of like the days of Revelation, where God basically says He would like for you to prepare take your whole life, and to mentally and spiritually prepare yourself. Not mentally, forget that. So spiritually prepare yourself to encounter that, and you have not taken those precautions. You pulling the "but God will provide" card, it's not gonna pan out the way you expect. And I'm not saying that God is cruel for that. That's not His fault. God preaches in His own book about wisdom. And wisdom, let me tell, so the verse goes, I believe it's Proverbs 22. This is me saying it from the top of my head. I'm not even reading it. The prudent sees evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. The prudent people, you don't have to be paranoid. Be prudent, cautious, aware, wise, fearing God, Prepare yourself, get some food. There's a company called The Wise Company that provides packaged dry food with like a 24-year shelf life. People may laugh at you now, but when you're prepared, and you'd have to be the Christian in the area who would help give out handouts every now and then as the Spirit leads you, because people are going to starve. I mean, that's not a laughing matter. That's very serious, folks. At this point, as a Christian, I take it as my responsibility to prepare for myself so I can help others. But when God tells me to flee, and when God tells me to pull back, of course I will listen. But yes, that's also what I wanted to mention. But lastly, I kind of want to end it with a Bible verse, as usual, because I feel like it really helps to tie up the points I'm trying to make, and conclude properly. So Matthew 10, verse 16, this is a verse in the Gospels. I'm not sure if you're going to tune me out because of that, but the Gospels are important because they drop you little hints, and if you read closely enough, you'll be able to catch it. Now, Matthew 10, verse 16, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Now, clearly that indicates that the wolves to sheep ratio will be typically unbalanced, but the Bible does mention, especially in the book of Isaiah, though enemies assail me on every side, God will deliver you and you will prevail. Like, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. If it isn't God's will, and that is the truth. Now, in continuation of the verse I read. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Now, wise as serpents. You kind of like... Serpents are wise in the fact that they're subtle. There's like a subtlety about serpents. That's kind of how they survive and eat and everything, where they don't really instigate, but if you instigate, they'll finish it, that type of thing. Like where Christians are usually encouraged to be docile, but that's a lie from the pit of hell. Don't be docile. Defend your God. Defend the word. Not physically, but pray against people, pray against the principalities that challenge the authenticity of the Bible and the Creator, the Ancient of Days. Defend him. He defends you. He defends you daily. The reason why you have an 8-hour blissful rest is because he's defending you as demons wish to take your last breath and drag you to the fiery pits of sulfur. So listen, I mean, you are indebted to him. Defend your father. And yeah, so I would basically pray over the enemies, because it's a fearful thing to be in the hands of the living God, period. So and to be as harmless as doves, that means well, doves are they're not slow. I just think that doves are they're like, if they were to be slaughtered, I don't think they'd know. But not in a rude way. Doves are just really like gentle, you know? They don't mean to do harm. Their job is just to look pleasing to the eyes, you know? No one's really going around saying my dove is really, really shrewd or anything and like clever. It's just like doves are just gentle presences. But yes, that's all I wanted to say. That's what I'd like to conclude. Please, if you guys ever want to pray over things, I'm actually going to post a email in the description box or the comment section below once I settle on the times for when I'm probably going to answer emails and questions and such. And have a blessed one. Amen.